this week. It all comes down to the final game of the home and away season.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think we've earned the right to be excited, and we spoke about in the team meeting yesterday about pressure is a privilege and how we can adapt to it, or we can shy away from it. So we've decided that we're going to accept it and take it as a bit of a badge of honour that we've given ourselves a chance to progress, and but we have to play our way, and the way we do that is nothing changes. It's still our footy and our DNA and what we believe in, and coming up against a side that'll be hungry to beat us. So the destiny's in our hands.
In terms of your coaching going into this weekend, knowing that you're the last game of the round, do you think that's something you'll go, okay guys, this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do to finish here, or is it going to be we just need to play our footy?
Yeah, we also discussed that yesterday. So we've taken the thing that we don't want to shy away from any sort of pressure whatsoever. So we're going to let the girls know pre-game what the scenario is, because I think the opposite, if you don't tell them, then they're going to be thinking that, are we in, are we out? So I'm going to clear their minds and just tell them what we need to do. I think it makes no difference to how we play. It just gives us a target, and I think it's a bit of a myth to say that if you tell them, then they're going to be scared or anything like that. It's not what we want to do. So again, sustained success means that you need to be able to cope that when you are a good team, if you're sitting 1 and 2 and you then become the hunted, that's pressure. So we've created pressure in everything we do right from the start, whether it's the person in the gym lifting weights next to each other to the team meeting, and you see players running from everywhere to get in before the door closes on their faces if they're late. So there's all sorts of pressure, and we want to live in that environment.
And I know you've spoken a bit about leading into the Hawks game, maybe complacency was a little bit there, but it feels like this group, having had that loss now, that it's not something that'll probably be a problem going into a game like this.
I hope so. The Hawthorn game, and I'm not taking it away from Hawthorn, they brought a really high pressure game that game, but yeah, we were a little bit off from what we rate as our trademarks to turn up to a game in a mindset to take on an opposition. Maybe we had to have that game to be able to flick the switch, but I'd rather have not had the game if I'm being honest. But yeah, I think since then I can't fault anything the players have done on the track and in game, so it's been really good.
You talked so much about the journey, but being patient about the journey. Are you surprised by how quickly the girls have turned around from last season?
Yeah, I am. I'm not going to lie, I am. We're still the 4th youngest list, which is something you tend to forget as you're flying up the ladder. And we're by no means a finished product. We've only had 3 players play every game since we started, and we've played 19 games in our history. So we're still very inexperienced, and we've got momentum, and momentum's massive in football, and we need to ride it until that moment when someone works us out and stops it. And but I'm well aware that it's not going to be linear. It's going to have its bumps and bruises, and that's all part of learning and growing, and then we'll be able to correct things off that.
I know the message is 1 week at a time in footy, but are the girls aware what's on the line, and the girls looking to extend the season?
Yeah, we haven't mentioned it from like what follows, but we've mentioned that there's a prize at the end of it, and the prize is you get an opportunity to continue. So it's just a mindset of taking what we need to grow from last week, what the positives were, and improving it. And yeah, it really is a process-driven thing, but we haven't shied away from talking about what the prize is, and I think it's just a great opportunity to feel pressure and see how we go against it.
You had 3 girls in the team of the week from last round. I feel like that's a testament to the recruiting off-season. How good is it to know that it's paid off?
Yeah, it is nice. Lucy and Chloe co-captain, so I think that's it is testament to the recruiting, but it's also testament to them to take that leap of faith to come to a team that didn't win a game and see something that we were selling and say, I want to be part of that, and then not only be part of it, but now they drive the standards. And I think that's probably been, when I reflect, one of the key things that I'll reflect on is that wouldn't have been an easy decision for either of them to make that choice. And hopefully they're enjoying it. I think they are. Lucy's smiling at the back there, so I'm sure she is. But yeah, that's it's really important that they came in, to a young squad and able to shape things the way that they think things should be done. And then Kate Marnie, obviously, who's head of our program and also does our list management as well, has done a great job with getting quality people into the program.
There's definitely a lot of noise around Chloe and Lucy, but you have some unsung heroes and your younger talent. How good is it to know that you're going to get plenty of years out of the likes of Sophia Hurley and Cynthia Hamilton? Yeah,
it is exciting, and Alana Woodward, even though she'll love you that you've called her young. But no, I think everyone's playing their role at the moment, which is really important. And we have a few analogies that we use within the group, and it doesn't matter whether you're old or young. If you've got the chance in the 21, you've got to play your role, and that's been really important for our growth. But yeah, if you look at the core group of 18 to 23-year-olds, it's so exciting that if they can stick together when they're 25 to 28 in that sort of age bracket, who knows? And that's what excites me is to get the group into a position where they can have that sustained success.
I know you've spoken about those 6 or 7 key measures that you look at on a game day. Can you talk us through exactly how you came to find those 6 or 7 and what they are?
Yeah, can't say what they are, Lachlan, but what it was based around was correlations to winning. And we did it at North Melbourne, came up with it, and then I followed it ever since. And then when I was an assistant at Collingwood, still tracked it and filled in the spreadsheet. And and then came here and thought, okay, let's see how we do it. So everything we do, from the way we train to the way we think about strategy, game plan, everything is based around what it takes to win in AFLW. And I know everyone focuses on, as an example, hit-outs and clearances, which are really important, but are they a higher correlation to winning than, say, post-clearance, just contested ball and things like that? And it's not that you can say that you win those stats and you're going to be fine. You're not, because then each game's different. On the weekend, for instance, we lost territory but still won. So there's other ways to win football, but if you're going to win consistently, the numbers are the numbers. So you've got to. It's fine. The analogy I use with the girls is I would like to play. If I was setting up a game plan for a fresh side, I would like to play an extra at the stoppage. When I was midfield coach at Collingwood, we did that, but the data says that doesn't work. So why go with it? And just little things like that. So it's more based around the strategy, the game plan, philosophy, and then just teaching what you need to win. And then the other stuff will be important, but not as important as those.
And in terms of this weekend, is it kind of regardless of the result you see this season, is it a huge success, or is it, now that you're so close, it's like,
it's a good question.
Oh, well, if we don't get there, it'll be a bit frustrating. It'll be a missed opportunity.
I don't know if it'd be frustrated. I'd be disappointed, because I think, from what I've seen with the group, I think we're in it. I think we've worked hard. The way we play, and the data says that we're right in the mix against any side. And that's a great way to be, but there's one thing being there, and then you've got to take your opportunity. So, I think I'd be disappointed that if we don't progress. But I wouldn't be frustrated, because I can see the growth is there, and it's not about this year or next year. It really is about the journey. So there'd be a level of disappointment, but definitely not frustration.
It's pretty close towards the end of that top 8. Will you be watching the other teams play this weekend, or is it all eyes on Sydney for the time being?
No, we're definitely we've got a couple of injured players, and they're gonna do that for us. And iPad each, and just keep texting me and letting me know where we're at, and live ladder, all that sort of stuff. So we're going to dive in, and that way I can focus on Fremantle and the way they play, and they got a lot of artillery there, particularly in their midfield. So there's a big job to do there. So I'll focus on that and let the others just feed the information into me.
And huge win, obviously, back in round 8. Will you be wanting to replicate that on Sunday if you can?
Yeah, it'd be nice. I think, again, if we play our brand and bring it, and Fremantle actually play fairly similar to us, which is good. So it could be a high-scoring game, and it's just a matter of repeating it. It really is. And we focused in the team meeting on what we did well from a ball movement perspective, but the stuff from the contest side of things, we think we've got a bit of growth area in there. So we really dialed into that at training today. We'll do the same on Friday, and then take that up against Fremantle.
Have you analysed whether Chloe's second goal went in or not?
Oh, definitely a goal. I'll just check the sheet. I'm sure it said 3 goals. No, I actually in the replay. It's funny when you're a coach. So I was saying this to the girls. I actually don't watch the broadcast vision. I like to watch behind the goals, and you can't tell because the camera was at the other end. Thank God. So I can't give a comment on it.
Have you had a go at the ladder predictor yourself as well, or?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I had a look at the ladder predictor. There's a lot of combinations, and yeah, for that reason, I think that's why I decided that I'd let others around the group focus on those, and I'm just going to do the Fremantle stuff and focus on that. But it's a great concept, and it's interesting. And you take your biases into it too, and you try to think, oh, what's best for you, and you say, oh, no, they'll actually lose this or they'll win by this, and at the end of the day, it's not going to matter. I think the season's so even that anything could play out, and it's so exciting for the fans. And I'd love to know how many people actually have done the predictor, because I reckon it'll be quite a few.
Just really quickly, you mentioned Freo, there's a lot of depth in the midfield there, and they've got a couple of players returning this week too. From our injured list, how are Paige and potentially Kiara looking at maybe coming back in over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, Paige will be available if she gets through training on Friday, so she'll put her hand up for selection, which is nice to know that she's healthy and going. She trained today and moved quite well. And the main thing is she's feeling good, which is great. And then Kiara is probably a few more weeks away, progressing really well, but we've just got to get load back into her body, and yeah, she's probably not quite ready just yet.